Let me connect with y'all through this message right quick. Know what I'm saying? Freedom is expensive. Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about freedom is expensive, man. Know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. This is just from personal experience, fighting for my own freedom. Freedom is expensive, bro. Man, freedom do not cost $1.50. You think freedom costs $1.50? Please, let me tell you something, bro, about freedom, bro. You know what I'm saying? Freedom, bro. Hey, bro. True freedom, bro, is expensive, bro. Man, you think you're gonna pay $1.50 and God is gonna hand you total freedom? Let me just pay God $1.50 plus taxes, maybe adding a little 25 cents. God is gonna give me freedom. Man, have I lost it? I minded, bro. Let me tell you something. Freedom is expensive, man. Bro, freedom is so expensive. And then look though, freedom is not just expensive. Bro, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. Sometimes it feels like we just bro, sometimes if I'm being real honest with you, sometimes it feels like at a certain point in our life, we just in this big plantation trying to make it out, bro. The slavery today is insane, bro. The slavery today is insane. It shows up in different ways. The slavery today shows up in like different ways and different systems. Capitalism, it shows up in the wicked system, bro. It shows up in they using money. No, I'm saying they using money to control the people, bro. The system using money and capitalism to control the people. All this stuff, bro. Slavery is showing up in different ways, bro. And bro, when you really look at it for what it is, bro, it's like, bro, we all fighting for freedom in some type of way, and freedom is expensive, bro. And a lot of people, they settle. The reason why people settle is because the price that you gotta pay for freedom is insane, bro. And then look though, you not only gotta pay the price for freedom, you also have to maintain the freedom. You gotta keep paying the price to maintain the freedom. You gotta keep living right in order to maintain the freedom, bro. Freedom is expensive, bro. When you just really look at it for what it is, freedom is expensive. And you gotta understand, sometimes you're like, bruh, we born into this world and we just start fighting for freedom, bruh. As soon as we start to be able to think for ourselves, it's like we starting to fight for freedom, bruh. And you fighting for freedom and you fighting for freedom, bruh. I'm like, bruh, like, sometimes it's like, damn, even the basic needs, you fighting for freedom for that? Man, they done weaponized the basic needs, bruh. They done weaponized everything, bruh. Everything you gotta fight for, bruh. You gotta pay just to breathe, bruh. Hey, some people don't know that you gotta pay to breathe, bruh. Where you gotta pay to breathe in a certain way. Because let's say this right here. If you can't afford to be in a certain place, and you in a place, you're gonna be living with narcissists, you're gonna be living in an environment. You ever live in an environment to whereas you feel you can't even breathe? So it's kind of like you gotta pay to breathe. You gotta pay to get to a better environment. Bruh, when you really think about it, freedom is expensive, bruh. You ever be in an environment, you could be surrounded by toxic people, toxic environment, and bruh, you need money just to leave, just so you can breathe. Bro, what do you mean breathing doesn't cost money, bro? In a sense, bro, it does cost money. But hey, that's my personal opinion though. In a sense, it costs money. Because you could literally be in an environment where you're surrounded by narcissists, you're surrounded by toxic people, you feel like you literally can't breathe. And you need money to get to a better environment. You need God to help you and provide. And you gotta work also. You can't just, bro, God help those who help themselves, you know what I'm saying? God help those who help, what is this? God help those who help themselves. But look though, it's like you gotta put in the work, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta trust God at the same time. You can't just trust God but you ain't even working hard, bro. You gotta trust God, and then you gotta work hard. And then you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta make your money, and then you gotta get out of that environment that make you feel like you can't even breathe. So you mean to tell me you gotta pay to breathe? In a sense, you do. Freedom is expensive. You gotta pay to breathe in a better environment, away from the toxic people, away from the narcissists, away. You could be born, some people is born in narcissistic families. They always gotta be going on a walk. They always gotta be going out because they feel like they can't even breathe in the home, bruh. Because some homes is toxic. Some homes is filled with narcissists. So in a way, you need money just to get away, just so you could breathe. You know what I'm saying? Freedom is expensive, bruh. Bruh, don't let nobody tell you freedom is cheap, bruh. Man, freedom is expensive. And then there's different types of freedom, bruh. There's financial freedom. That's a nightmare within itself. Everybody trying to reach financial freedom. It's like we all in this big plantation trying to reach financial freedom. Because capitalism is slavery, bruh. I'm gonna be real with you. I just call stuff for what it is. I don't be sugarcoating stuff and none of that, bro. I call stuff for what it is. This capitalistic system that's expensive, bro, and making people pay all these high, insane amounts just to survive, that's slavery, bro. So it's like we all in this big plantation trying to attain financial freedom. That's just one form of slavery that we trying to break free from. And bro, it doesn't happen overnight. You don't break free overnight. It takes years just to break free. It takes years of working and building just to break free from all this slavery, bruh. So now look, you trying to break free from all this slavery, and then there's different types of other slaveries. You could be in a slavery in a relationship. You around the wrong people, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You around the wrong people. Now you around the wrong, let's say you're married to the wrong person. You're married to a narcissist. Oh yeah, when you marry a narcissist, sometimes you could be like, damn, why did this person marry a narcissist? But you gotta understand, when the narcissist first approached that person, they act nice, they act like they nice, they act like, and then once they get married, they get into the relationship, the narcissist's true colors arrive. Now they reveal their true form. That's how the devil show up. The devil show up nice at the beginning, and then before you know it, it turned into the devil. That's why your discernment gotta be strong. You gotta be able to see through the fake nice act. But let me tell you something about freedom. Freedom is expensive. Man, we out here throwing hands with the devil for our freedom, bruh. We out here throwing hands with the devil on a regular basis for our freedom, bruh. Sometimes you just be like, damn, couldn't freedom just be cheap, bruh? Shouldn't we just be able to just live and just be free and just get our basic needs? I call it basic needs because, you know, that's what a lot of people call it. It's basic needs, like, you know, shelter, housing, all this. This stuff has turned into a warfare, bruh. All this stuff is a warfare now. Man, they charging you all these high rents and all this stuff just to survive, bro. Man, you gotta fight. You either fight or you slave until you're like 80 years old. And with the way things is going, with all these emergencies and anything that could happen, you might mess around and have nothing saved up because of how expensive everything gets and how you could get into like any type of like emergency and anything, bro. Before you know it, you're 70 years old without no savings, bro, because of certain emergencies and the cost of living and the rents and this. It's slavery, bro. It's slavery, bro. There's so much slavery out here, bro. Man, that's why y'all be seeing me, bro. Man, I be putting in that work, man. I be building stuff for God, bro. And the only way to be free is to build stuff for God's kingdom, bro. You gotta build stuff for God's kingdom, bro. Bro, you gotta build stuff. You gotta own stuff. You gotta build your own stuff. And for a lot of you people who can, bro, you gotta build your own business. Because I know a lot of people, they don't have the mental strength to build their own business. And that's very understandable because everybody don't have the mental strength to build their own business and to build their own things. And I still pray that God will still make a way for the people who don't even have the mental strength to build their own business. I still pray that God will make a way so they don't have to slave until they're 70, bro. I still hope and pray that God will still make a way, because I understand everybody don't have the mental strength to build a business, to be an entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. So I understand people, bruh. You know what I'm saying? I understand people, bruh, because I've been through a lot, bro. I understand people on a deep level. You know what I'm saying? I understand people on a critical level, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro, because I've been through all types of stuff. When you've been through so much, bro, you understand people and what's going on. But sometimes you just wish, like, man, couldn't freedom just be cheap? Hell no, freedom ain't cheap in any way. And like, bro, the system be weaponizing freedom in a way. If you really, they be weaponizing it. They know people want freedom, and they know people is going after freedom. So they create these counterfeit blessings and these counterfeit doors where people had to sell out, and people had to sell their soul just to try to get by. Like the system makes it to whereas you gotta do stuff you don't even want to do just to survive and trying to get ahead, bro. It's just sick, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like the people who doing wrong is the people who get financially rewarded even more. It's crazy. It's just a sick world, bro. But freedom is not cheap, bro. Man, freedom is expensive. You could be fighting for freedom for over 10 years and you feel like you ain't even did nothing. Have you ever felt like you're fighting for freedom for over 10 years, bro, and you feel like you ain't even accomplished nothing? That's sometimes it feel like that, but you closer than a lot of people, bro. Because some people ain't even started fighting, bro. And you gotta keep living a certain way. You gotta keep living right in order to maintain that freedom. You cannot be making bad choices with your life, because that's how you end up in more slavery. Because your own decisions could turn into slavery. You know what I'm saying? So there's just so many things. You cannot marry the wrong person, because when you marry the wrong person, you gonna end up in more slavery in that relationship. It's just so many things that you gotta do, and you gotta continue to live right in order to stay free. You gotta keep making the right choices in order to stay free. Because if you don't make the right choices, you're not free, bruh. You still in slavery in some way. But yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about right there, man. Know what I'm saying? Peace.